Hello and welcome. Take a breath with me before we begin. Feels good, doesn't it? This, my lovely, is not another talk about pushing hard or doing more. It's a calm conversation for women or men. If you're here, hi. You're already carrying too much. Let's have a bit of a drink. It's a calm conversation for women who already echo that's happening here. We know that there's no echo happening elsewhere. Let's just do a bit of a double check, make sure we don't. I had a little bit of an echo there. Let me know in the chat if it's coming through. Anyhow, let's start again. Hi, welcome. I am Monica Watt. I am the founder and chief motivation officer with Incredible Buzz. And for this, I am your Burnout Reset coach. Before we begin, let's take just a coming in. Let's drop our shoulders. Deep breath in. Feels good. This isn't another talk about pushing harder or doing more, lovelies. It's a very calm conversation for women and men, if you are here present with me, because we all need this and we're probably all carrying too much. You're here because something inside you knows that you can't keep running on empty. And that awareness is already the start of healing. I walked through burnout more than once, actually twice. And I want to share with you what I've learned, not from textbooks, but from literally rebuilding my own nervous system, one quiet breath at a time. So you open your laptop, you stare at the screen, you care, you can't move. You call it lazy. I know, I call it survival. Notice what happens in your body when you hear that word, survival. The heaviness that you have been carrying isn't a flaw. It's actually your body trying to protect you. Now, this feels, familiar. You're not alone. Most of the women I work with are strong, capable, and deeply, deeply caring. And that's exactly why they burn out. So you wake up feeling exhausted, you try to rest, your mind, it's running 10 to the dozen, through the to-do list, the guilt list, the what-if list, and you start wondering, what's wrong with me? Well, here's the truth. Nothing is wrong with you. You are not broken. The likelihood is you're burning out, or heading towards burnout. And your system, remember, you only have one body, one system, one life. Your system is doing its damned hardest to keep you safe, even when it feels like it's shutting down. Now, there was a time that I'd sit at my desk in tears. I loved my work. I couldn't start. Every task felt like I was wading through mud, like wearing concrete boots, or it was just so heavy. Now, I blame myself for being unmotivated. But what was really happening was my nervous system had lost safety. I was in survival mode, frozen, completely frozen. Frozen between wanting to move and not being able to. And once I learned how to reset that, everything began to change. Not overnight. Nothing happened overnight. But gently kind of coming back to life. Now, we talk about burnout like it's rare or extreme. But quietly, it's everywhere. On the slide, you can see 42% of women say they feel burned out most of the time. That's almost 1 in 2 of us. Now, this stat was taken by McKinsey, and that's in 2022. Just imagine what it's like now. So if you're feeling flat, unfocused, running confused, the smell of an oily rag, it isn't just you. It's the symptom of how much pressure we're under. Now, I know I've talked about pressure. Diamonds are created under pressure. Forged steel, really the most toughened steel is in through fire. But there's a specific to them because they're designed to be created that way. We are not. Pressure and stress is good. It can be helpful, but it should be like, and those of you listening, especially my clients, those of you that are listening know exactly what I'm saying. Stress and pressure should be like a Christmas tree. Stretch it goes out, comes in, it goes out, and it comes in. We've got a North Star that we're working towards at the top of the tree, and underneath is a gift. But if you're feeling flat and unfocused and burnt out and running on fumes, the likelihood is that you don't have a gift underneath that tree. You are working and pushing yourself like a lump of coal or molten steel being forged. It isn't just you. It is that symptom of how much pressure we're under and literally how little space we give ourselves to recover. So let's talk about breaths, functional breaths. You can still show up, but you can deliver a sign. You can hold it all together. But inside, your system is on pause. It's not failure. It's self-protection. And when we name it, we move from shame to understanding. And with understanding brings choice. Choice that you are able to navigate with and negotiate with, and collaborate and connect with. You can talk to others about it. And so here's one of the first signs of stress. You collapse on the couch. Your mind won't stop spinning. That's not laziness, it's hypervigilance. Your body doesn't yet believe it's safe enough to rest. So instead of judging yourself for not relaxing properly, notice that your system is trying to keep you alert. Try and say to yourself, I'm safe right now. Notice what softens. Notice what softens. I'm safe right now. Like many of us, many women, you're so exhausted, you hit your head on the pillow, and all of a sudden the brain kicks over. And just saying, if you're a woman of a certain age, you've got other things that you're navigating as well. You could have children, you could have toddlers, you could be in perioperative or premenopausal. You could be in caring duty. And so everything is going. Economic pressures, financial pressures, relationship pressures, community pressures. My gosh, there's so much there that you want to get up to. So instead of judging yourself for still having all this in your to-do list and for not being able to sleep when your head hits the pillow or sitting down feeling guilty because you're sitting down and taking a break, just notice what's happening inside your body. Your body is trying to keep you alert because there's so much happening. So say it with me. I'm safe right now. Just saying it softens this thing inside. I know inside me, so I hope it is inside you. Some days you push through, and other days you just simply crash. That swing between doing everything and doing nothing isn't inconsistency, it's your brain behind you. When we're in survival, the brain, the thinking brain shuts down. You can't think your way out of burnout. You actually have to feel your way back to safety. It is feeling them. How am I feeling? Where am I? What do I need to be feeling? Am I numb? Am I disconnected? I know when I was going through this, I couldn't focus. That's one thing. I couldn't touch time. I couldn't write my name. I couldn't step off the curb. And I was still going, still pushing through. Working with me as a client, I don't like the term push. You stepping into things. Push is like a resistance. I'm having to resist. Stepping is a choice. And if I'm pushing and crashing and calamity, people, things balls on the ground everywhere, and I'm exhausted. It's the law of diminishing return. And this is so important because you've lost your spark. Joy feels like work. The things that you like to do, having a cuppa and sitting, watching the world go by, listening to the children giggle, getting on the train and getting your headphones in and listening to a podcast or talking to somebody, getting to the gym, getting in the bar, reading a book, going for a walk, eating. Things that you actually engage with, picking up a phone and talking to a friend. All the things that you love, the joy feels like work. Things that once filled you up now drain you. That, my lovelies, is not acting. That's energy conservation. Your body is protecting what's left. It's protecting you. Instead of chasing motivation, what if we focused on creating enough calm for your system to believe that it's safe to shine again? Wouldn't that be nice? High achievers. Put your hand up. Are you a high achiever? Yeah. I'm a high achiever. I have always been a high achiever. High expectations on myself. High achiever. We are so brilliant at turning guilt into fuel. I just work a little bit hard. Just get that finished. I'll feel better. It'll be good. But the thing is, you can't shame yourself into safety. What you're calling weakness might actually be wisdom. Your body whispering, slow down. Slow down before I stop you completely. What would happen if your body shut down completely? Just think about your world at the moment. What would happen? How would you feel? You would be impacted. Mostly, how would you feel? You're waking to feeling. We wait for clarity, energy, motivation, but healing begins before those things return. It starts with one breath, one micro step, one gentle reminder that you're still here. So let's do that together. We're going to pause and take a deep breath, and we're going to inhale through our nose. We're going to hold it before, and we're going to exhale. It's going to come on the screen. Notice what softens your shoulder, your jaw, your breath. That's your system remembering safety. That's where we begin. So let's do that now. Breathe in. Hold for 2. And exhale slowly. Kind of like you're blowing your hand. Let's do that again. Through your nose for a count of 4. Hold at the top 2. And then exhale slowly. 6. Notice what's soft. Your shoulders drop. As your jaw loosened off. Does your body want to take another deep breath just because it's taken a breath? That's your system remembering safety. That is where it begins. So reset isn't about effort. It's actually about safety. And you cannot outthink burnout. You have to outsafe. Because when your system feels safe, motivation, focus, clarity follows naturally. And here is where we're talking about those small, those kind steps that rewire your nervous system faster than self-criticism ever will. And this is where we're focusing on how do we create that through our calm, through our energy, and through our action. So your first ability to reset, find one small pocket of your day where no one needs it. It could be, that first sip of your cup, quiet drive, walk, but no phone. It could be a mindful second. It doesn't mean you're doing nothing. It means your system is safe for a moment, and that's where repair begins. Now, it's hard if you're juggling parenting, carer duties, all of those kinds of things. But where is it? Perhaps it's, that short moment of, stripping off the clothes and getting in the shower. Just that brief micro nanosecond. The walk out the door, close the door behind you, and just take a deep breath. Find small ways. Because when you're in the thick of burnout and the thick of overthinking, overdoing, overbeing, it's hard to be doing nothing. So taking those little micro moments, just that joy of that, clicking the pen, walking down the corridor intentionally, leaving your phone in the other room. That's slightly unbelievable. Just doing those things enables your body and your system to feel safe. And when it's feeling safe, that's where repair begins. Now, when you name it, you actually change it. Saying, I'm in freeze. I'm in freeze. I'm in freeze. I'm in freeze. Brings compassion into the space where shame used to live. And that awareness is the very first step back to yourself. When you say it out loud, when you say it out loud, your nervous system is listening to your voice. When you say aloud, I'm safe, or this is enough for today, you are re-educating your body. Say it like you're talking to somebody that you love, because you are. You must love yourself first to love others, to give others, to show others what you need from them when you're going through burnout. So reset number 3, choose one small kind action. Not because you should, but because it reminds your system that life beyond burnout is very much present. Your life still exists. Make yourself a cup of tea. Step outside. Feel the sun. Send a meme to a friend. Give yourself the joy of listening to a favourite song. Reply to one tiny message. Because tiny, consistent actions rebuild the self-trust and they remind you to move again. It's like the image that I have there. It's a ripple effect. It's like when you drop a stone, a pebble, into the water. It has a ripple effect. Just one little action rebuilds your self-trust. And it says, I can move again. I can move again. You don't need to push harder. You have already proven time and time and time over again your strength. You don't need more pressure. What you need is more permission. You need to give yourself permission. Permission to rest. Permission to give thanks for yourself. Permission to say no. Permission to feel safe. Speak to yourself the way that you would your best friend when she's overwhelmed. Softness doesn't make you weak. It actually makes healing possible. And it doesn't need to be days' work. It doesn't need to be hours' work. Do you know if you count 8 breaths? Maybe do that with me. In and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 breaths. That was 1 minute. 1 minute of care for yourself. 1 minute to allow the moment of healing. Give yourself permission to count 8 breaths. Give yourself permission. 1 more. It's 1 minute. And it's something that you can do with your children. It's something that you can do with your team. Your body will thank you for it. Your team will thank you for it. Your children will thank you for it. They will learn. I know my grandchildren. Take a deep breath. Love yourself. We are so powerful. So love yourself like you would your best friend. And when you're ready, there's a way to go deep, gently in your own time. The Burnout Reset program is a calm, self-paced space to help you reset your nervous system, rebuild your energy, and reclaim your clarity and confidence. And if you're not ready yet, that's okay. Start with something small. You can download my free Proper Reset checklist. Follow the link that's on the screen. It's a simple way to remind yourself that safety and recovery are possible, one breath at a time. So remember, you're not lazy, you're healing. You're not behind, you are rebuilding. Take a deep breath. Feel your shoulders drop. And remember, you don't have to get it all right. You just have to begin again. Gently. Thanks for being here with me. Know that this is a safe space and that I am here with you. If you need more, send me a message. If you need to offload, send me a message. If this hits you, send me a message. You know, sharing it is a good way to start. I'm here for you. No commitment, no attachment. I'm just here for you. When you need me, send me a message. Sending you so much love and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.